testRigor is a modern test automation system that uses artificial intelligence to enable virtually anyone to create automated tests for web, mobile devices, and native desktop applications. testRigor helps manual QA testers become QA engineers and helps QA engineers become 10 times more productive. But how exactly is that accomplished? Our secret recipe strikes at the root causes of wasted time with a combination of horizontal testing, shared resources, and parallel test execution. To start, what exactly is horizontal testing, and how does testRigor factor into it? In contrast to vertical testing, which aims to increase test coverage, horizontal testing focuses on environment compatibility by running the same tests under multiple browsers and operating systems. All the same tests, rules, and data sets that ran against Chrome are then run against Edge and Firefox browsers under Windows. Since Safari is the browser of choice by many Mac users, testRigor easily expands coverage to include it under the Apple iOS environment. testRigor even goes the extra mile to ensure your Linux users are getting the same user experience. To achieve this requires just a few clicks of a button. testRigor eliminates the risk of wasting time inspecting false positives stemming from resource conflicts. Instead of multiple browsers fighting for shared RAM resources and CPU cycles, testRigor isolates each browser to independent servers running in parallel. This also means the completion time of an ever-growing test suite can be constrained to a reasonable amount of time by adding more parallel execution servers. More parallel servers means more tests completed in less time. Shared resources also provide one-to-many scalability across tests, as well as suites with reusable rules, which are equivalent to functions. This means when some maintenance is eventually required, it is immediately reflected in all tests that use those resources. These global changes can always be overridden for individual browsers or operating systems. Cloud-based resources also eliminate the constant upkeep time as compared to a physical in-house server farm. Downtime for upgrading hardware and browser versions is done away with entirely. This translates to less time wasted on false positives, more time for test case creation and additional failure analysis to achieve better ROI value by catching bugs sooner in QA before they reach production. Because it is a cloud-based automation platform, testRigor eliminates the need for a complex, time-consuming setup to get started. Log into your account from your browser, create a new test suite, and specify the suite name, the type of testing, the URL under test, and login credentials. testRigor supports generative AI. You can describe your application functionality, and it will create initial test cases to get your project started on the right foot. testRigor works with elements on the screen visible to a user like top deals and deal of the day. This eliminates ever-increasing maintenance time updating hundreds of XPath and CSS locators in a legacy page object model approach. testRigor supports all commands that we normally use in our day-to-day tasks, such as clicking a button or link, entering text into a search field, dragging from one object to another, and checking the page contains some expected value. Users can create tests through 4 different methods. First, writing the test case from scratch. Second, using live mode. Third, using the Chrome extension. And last, creating flexible generative AI steps directly from a test document. Using live mode, users can click on elements generating commands that instantly execute. Typed commands are executed against the web page. This means validations can be perfected without repeatedly rerunning the test. Last, generating test cases based on the test title using testRigor's generative AI model. In this example, the AI model generated steps for a test that searches for a product as a guest, skipping the login process. testRigor saves time with generative AI autonomously creating tests based on descriptive prompts. The generative AI has used the test name use the store locator to find another store to create this script. It finds the store locator, uses the current location, and selects the Manassas outlet. This feature extends beyond just test generation. It can create reusable rules that are completely AI driven. In this case, we describe what the rule should do and let the AI figure out the rest at runtime. Unchecking the box produces a set of AI generated steps that we can customize for the desired result.